So how do I now know people? How do I now know people can connect with me? No, what I mean is comments.
It will be showing you.
I hope so. Okay, we're live. Let me share the screen. Share screen. Application window. But it's sharing all these things. Hello. There's even a delay. Hello, is everyone there? No, I'm live. She's saying she can't join the class.
Let's all just click on the link.
Okay, someone is here. Someone is here. So warm. Someone is here. If you can hear me, leave a comment, please. Why are you trying to bring them on board? Okay, this is nice. Oh, it's showing the wrong page.
Hmm.
Showing the wrong. Oh, it's showing the. This is slide, but I don't want that page to say this is the proper one. All right, people. Today has been a hectic day with. Should I go to YouTube?
Yeah, we are doing it on YouTube. So let's all just click on the link. That's just it.
Okay.
If she clicks on the link, it will just leave
You are
it.
sure? Okay, please. They're live though, so this thing we are doing. I want to be able to navigate. Let me just navigate out of this. The next.
Yes, yes.
Okay, just leave it. Let it be here. Do you understand?
Hmm.
I want. Okay, go back. Sorry, people. Please just give me a minute. I'm just trying to. So we had to change service providers. No, what are you trying to do? Use the big PowerPoint. Oh, fantastic! One person is live. That's Farida. Okay, so before I don't want to share now. Let me talk to them. Hello, Farida. How are you doing? Oh, fine, fantastic. I see your name. I see your name. Thank you for joining. How are you doing? So, I'm back here again this evening trying to resolve another network challenge. It's been a crazy weekend. but I'm glad to have you here. We are 5 minutes behind schedule. I promise not to keep you here longer than you're supposed to be. And so for the other people that were still waiting to join us, we'll just go ahead. I want this thing, I want a big screen. Why is it tiny like this? Okay. Okay, so we have two people now. I'm expecting a couple more people to make sure that we can start. But sorry, excuse me. I need water. Sorry, please ask them. Can I have some water? Yes. Okay, so let me take this off and chat with you guys. Welcome to the third person. Thank you for joining. I'm glad that you could make it today. I'm expecting more people, even though this we had a morning session. We had a couple of people who wanted to be part of this, but they come from one organization. So can you hear me? If you can hear me, please say something in the comments. Let me know that you can hear me. I see number 4. Yeah. Thank you. I see 4 people already. Thank you. Ah, please forgive me and my unpreparedness. I had to drive away from my native zone to come out here to ensure that I not only had proper service, I was able to resolve the challenges I had this morning. So I was trying to tell you that I started. I'd like to know if you can hear me, please. It's really important that I know you can hear me so that if I need to speak up louder or adjust the settings, I would like to know. So please leave something in the comment section to let me know that you can hear me. I see some people are having network challenges. Okay. I don't see any comments. Does it mean you can't hear what I'm saying? Does it mean you can't hear? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay, fantastic. I hope everyone else can hear me. So I think there's a lag. I think there's a lag. I can see the lag. I can feel it. When I speak, I see that it takes a few seconds for it to show up here. So I'm just going to start. I have wasted some time and I don't want to wait anymore. So I was welcome everyone. Thank you to the Craft Your Goals Masterclass. I'm expecting a whole lot more people. We had to leave our native platform, which is Zoom, and come here on YouTube. Number one, because of we got more people showing interest very late in the day, and then some people had issues with the Zoom connection. So we had to quickly make a switch and choose something that was easier for people to communicate without the stress of, I really wish I could interact with one of you. I'll probably bring you up live to interact with you because at some point I'm going to interact with each of you. So please, if you're here, say something in the comment section and let me know that you're here. While you are saying something, I'm going to tell you the story of how my afternoon went. So I had a morning session, a similar goal setting session just like this, but they didn't want to be in the evening section, and there were many enough to create a morning session. So I gave a morning session, and in the middle of the class, the network kept breaking down. I put up a post, and this particular group of people were from the UK. And so I knew that they would be thinking, what's going on in this country? Why is she having all these challenges? Didn't she prepare for us? But I'd been ready. But the network decided to act up just as I went live. We couldn't take it. We had to change location. So this evening, I decided, there's a fifth person now. This evening, I decided to change my location and come to another venue. I also was forced to change the native platform I wanted to use, which was Zoom. And now I'm using the YouTube links so that people can find me much more easily. For those of you who did not send your details, and so we couldn't send you the link, I trust that you will find us on the closed group like we have put out there. And so please quickly join in and let us know that you are part of us. For the rest of you, thank you for coming. Please say something and let me know that you're here, because today's class is going to be interactive. So I'm going to get straight to it so that I don't keep you here too long. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Farida, for your feedback. You are energizing me. You are energizing me. Okay, so people of God, who talks about goal setting at this time of the year? Usually at this time of the year, most people have made up their minds what they want to do. They have either started doing it or they have started failing at it. Whatever the case, most people are over their goal setting fevers and they want to move on. So when I put up a post to take another, so I've been taking goal setting classes offline for a couple of weeks now, and mostly with organizations, large groups of people, little groups of people, but I've been doing a lot of off the scene work. But I remember that I have an online community that I need to share this with. And because I can't meet everyone, I believe that we had people register from all over the place. We have people from Lagos here, we have people from Ibadan, we have from Abuja, we have from Kaduna, we have from the UK. So we have a couple of people that are from different parts. I mean, it just made sense to go live online, right? It's important that for anyone who wants to achieve success with their goals, you must have time to appraise your goals. So I wanted to wait for the fever to pass. When people are over that goal setting fever and vision board creation fever and they have gotten back into the grind of everyday life, to now arrest the situation for a lot of people and bring them back on track. You see, many of us set goals without really understanding how to set the goals that we are capable of sustaining. The effort and the drive required to push these goals to see fruition usually is lacking in most people when they have moved past a few weeks into their goals. But for a few people that are very disciplined and can control themselves, majority of people tend to just fall by the wayside because they set goals that they are unable to really craft. So today's goals are really, I'm not going to be helping you set new goals. If this was a live workshop, yeah, we might look at your goals, because usually my live workshop lasts at least 6 hours, 6 to 8 hours. And in those 6 to 8 hours, we thoroughly break down the goals that you set in the class and we try to go over them so that you can connect with them. But on a live video like this, I understand that there's virtual fatigue and people can easily get distracted. So I'm going to share the nuggets with you. But I know that what I'm sharing with you will be valuable and you can apply them to your life as soon as possible. So thank you everyone for joining. So far, only Farida has been able to communicate with me. If you are trying to communicate, there's a section for where you can share your thoughts. Please go ahead and share your thoughts. I will not put them out here, okay, if you do not want. All right, let's get to it. I'm going to be sharing my screen now. You can still see me, but I think I'm already even sharing the screen. Okay, I'm going to be sharing the screen, and just follow me. I'll try and be quick, but I hope you have your biros and papers, because I'm going to be asking a lot of questions. And I hope that one or two of you will volunteer to come live on the stream with me, because I want you to speak up. I'm going to use you and your goals to help give perspective and context to the other aspects, to the other people who may be watching and those who may be watching the replay. Okay? All right, so let's do this. Why is it saying, okay, share?
Not share screen.
Yes. Okay. All right. So today, an effective goal setting webinar with Ochida. I'm going to, some of you have attended some of my classes before. So this is like a refresher course. And I'm cool with that because every time the key to retention is repetition. And many times people need to see it over and over again for things to work. So effective goal setting, yes. Every time I take goal setting, every time I take goal setting webinars, okay, hold on. I'm just trying to make sure this is doable. Okay, so every time I take goal setting webinars, I always land on the fact that every time you set goals, your goals must be profitable. What does profitability mean to you? Can you write that down in your book? For many people, and for me, no goals are worth anything if they don't add something to me. They not add something to me, my environment, the community, or something that I must achieve. If they are not profitable, if it's just for the sake of setting the goals because I need to be busy, it is not profitable to me. So profitability can mean different things to different people. Please, the first question I want you to ask yourself this evening is, what does profitability mean to you? Is it more money? Is it fitness? Is it a better location? Is it a new business venture? Better relationships, good health, increased godliness, more impact? Is it career growth? What does profitability mean to you? Every single goal you set must and should be profitable. If it's not profitable to you, then I'm sorry, you are probably setting goals for someone else. So I'm going to be taking these goals in three parts. Before you set your goals, while you're setting your goals, or while you're setting your goals, and after you set your goals. So let's quickly head up to part one before you set your goals. I've always said this, and this is like the opening. I think I must have used this statement. I have used it over 10 times as an opening statement. The size of your dreams must exceed your current capacity to achieve them. That means that whatever goals you have are not goals that you are currently capable of achieving with the knowledge, ability, and skills that you have, or with the information that you have. So you must set goals because goals enable you grow. You must rise to the capacity, you must grow to the capacity where you want to achieve your goals. If your goals are only settling for, if you set goals that you already have the ability to achieve, I'm afraid it's not quite a goal, because a goal is supposed to put you under very tiny pressure to achieve them. You see, different goals mean different things to different people, and you must have the right kind of system in place to achieve the goals that you want to achieve. The writer, the owner, this statement is credited to the former Liberian president. I think she's no longer the president. But at a time when it was unusual to see a female president, she emerged as one of the few female presidents in the world. And so she said this about her own goals, and it became adopted as a mantra for many people. So you must set goals. The fact that you are setting goals means that you are on track. You want something to happen in your life and you're happy with the decisions you're making. So, what is a goal? A goal is a dream written down with a date. When that goal is broken down, it becomes a plan. And when you back up that plan with action, your goals come to life. Without a dream, you cannot have a goal. Without a plan, your goal will mean nothing. Without action to that plan, all it has remained is still a wish. It is not yet a goal. So down the line, I'm going to be showing you how to set your goals. Why do we set goals? People of God. There are 5 main reasons. Ultimately, anyhow you want to look at these things, whatever goals you're setting, they revolve around being happy, being fulfilled, having meaning to your life, discovering purpose or living out that purpose, and generally improving the quality of your life. If any goal you set does not resonate around these 5 things, perhaps you are not setting goals that are aligning with your values. I'm going to continue. So if you have struggled to achieve your goals, there must be a reason why you are here. Either you want better, you have tried to achieve your goals, but you have struggled to achieve them, or you just want to a better way, you just want to be more effective at achieving your goals. You have done some greatly, you think you can do better, you are in the right place. So many things are responsible for why people fail to meet their goals. They include procrastination. I'm a victim of procrastination, believe you me. I amaze myself at how much procrastination has injured me, and I know how difficult it is to get out of procrastination. So many of us have been victims of procrastination, and for others, a wrong mindset may be responsible. Every single goal. This morning, when I was sharing with the London group, I had to stress that every single goal requires an attitude. Every single goal requires a mindset. And I use an example. If you follow me on social media, you will know from time to time that I speak that my primary profession is architecture. That's what I studied in school. That's what I've worked at for over 15 years. So if I had a wall, for instance, the wall behind me, it will be easy to break down this wall with a mallet. I can hit the wall and knock it down with a mallet because the block size is the blocks are hollow, and the size is roughly 230, including plaster, right? So this wall, I can use a mallet to knock it down. But if I needed to knock down a lintel, now a lintel is that part over a window, that concrete strip. It's a short strip usually. It's over the window of a building, or it's made over windows or doors, so that you can keeps pressure from the roof from falling in, right? That lintel requires more than a mallet. It might even require a bulldozer if it's a very heavy, bulky building. In other words, we have 2 goals that I've just described: the goal to knock down this wall and the goal to knock down the lintel. The effort and the mindset required to knock down a wall is different from the effort required to knock down a lintel. Do you understand me? So if you try to knock down the wall or the lintel using the tools of a wall, you may not succeed. Same thing with goals. Different goals require different kinds of mindsets. They require different attitudes, they require different resolves, they require different information, they require different habits to be able to achieve these goals. So if you have a wrong mindset, it may be responsible for why you are not achieving your goals, because you may be using a mindset to knock down a wall and thinking that that mindset is sufficient to knock down a lintel. Does that make sense? I hope it does. So what other things are responsible for us failing to meet our goals? You may lack information, or you may struggle to know how to apply the information you currently have. And that is why I'm going to plead with you. When I ask for someone to volunteer in this class today, please, I hope you'll be willing to do so that I can show you how to apply some of the information that you require to achieve your goals. I'm trying to show you how to craft a goal that resonates with you in such a way that you can sustain momentum to achieve that goal. So what other reasons are responsible? Perhaps you're lazy. It's not an easy thing to admit to oneself that you may be lazy, or you're not a disciplined person, or you're just wishing instead of actually setting goals. You see, there are many indices that require a goal. Is a technical, is scientific. It's 1, 2, 3, 4 steps, traceable. It can be taught, it can be repeated, it can be reproduced. If someone took the steps that you gave in order to achieve a certain goal, and somebody else took those steps and copied it, usually they are most likely to achieve the same goal with you. So when sometimes you have a goal that is not broken down properly, it's really not a goal, even though you think it's a goal. It might just be a wish. And you want to make sure it is actually a goal and not a wish. Then, of course, many of us are guilty of keeping the goals in our heads. I know what I want to achieve. I've been thinking about it for a long time. They don't take time to write it down. The good book tells us, write the vision and make it plain so that it can be read on the run. Many times, no matter how intelligent we are, no matter how fantastic our memory is, we are usually not as sharp as the bluntest pencil. So if an ordinary pencil can retain more than we, then it's important that we write our goals down. If you are setting goals here, you haven't taken time to write them down, get a journal, please. Just write them down somewhere. Even if you're not prepared to think about them yet, put them down on paper. It will to shock you the wonders that you can achieve just putting the goals down on paper. Then you may be afraid. Have you been afraid? Or you may even be downright incompetent. Yes. Sometimes you just need more information, more experience, more time, the right association to be able to achieve that goal. And at the moment now, you lack it. It's okay. It's not a bad thing to know you are incompetent. Because once you know, the next and the only logical step to do is to improve on that area that you're struggling with. Then many people lack clarity. Many people lack clarity. And for many people, I'm hoping that when you are done with this class, you'll be clearer about the goals that you want to achieve. So, many times to be able to achieve a goal, you need to sit down and plan. I took this line from the holy book that I study. I'm sorry, I'm a lady of faith, so just allow me quickly just run through this. It says in the book of Luke 14, it says, suppose you want to build a house, will you not first sit down and estimate the cost? Suppose you want to build a house, will you not first sit down and estimate the cost to see if you have enough money to complete it? What that means is, for you to even attempt to set a goal, you must first sit down and count the cost. The counting the cost is usually where the crux of the matter lies. For many people, they wake up in January and they say, I'm going to set new goals. And then they pile up one goal over another failed goal, over another failed goal, without properly counting the cost. The cost is many things. What happened before? Why did I fail? What should I change? How should I now approach this new goal? No time taken to count the cost. No time taken to sit down and estimate what it really takes to achieve this goal. Okay? So today I'm going to be helping you count the costs. For you to count the cost, there are a few things you must note. You must take stock of where you currently are. If I were going to my friend's party and I got lost along the way, and I called her and asked her, please, how do I find my way to your house? What do you think she'll tell me? She would say, where are you? I want to be able to describe my house from where you currently are. And the logical thing would be, you'd say, okay, I'm on so and so street in this part of town. And she'll say, okay, if you're coming from this part of town, that means you're coming from the left side of my house. Come straight down, stop at a police station, take a left, a right, blah, 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 and then you find the way to my house. That stock taking is like you identifying where you currently are in your life. And so I'm going to ask you a few questions very soon to help you understand how to identify where you currently are. And then the essence of sitting down to count the cost is so that you can appraise yourself. Are you really ready for these goals you claim you want? Are you qualified to set them? If it happens, how will you feel? What will it do to you? Okay? Those are the questions you must ask yourself. So please, if you have a biro and pen there, please write down all these things that I'm saying. Make sure you take stock about where you currently are. The questions I'm going to ask you, everyone watching should please just join in. Write the questions down, okay? Identify your mindset around the goals that you have set. I've already tried to explain to you that different goals require different mindsets, right? Some require tougher resolves than others to achieve. So when you have set specific goals, to those specific goals that you have set, identify, does this goal look like it's harder than this one? Should I apply more resilience here? What do I need to apply resilience here? So that is what you do to be able to develop your mindset around setting goals that you have set. I put this thing in there. I don't know if you're seeing it. Write a letter to yourself for giving yourself a failing. Many of us have failed at many things for very long. Where we are currently is nothing like where we dreamed we would be. That's for people who are ambitious and want to do something with their lives. So when they look back at how many times they have failed, you're the only one that truly knows what you have failed at all. I mean, you can package for people, but inside you know the standard you wanted and you know where you have remained. You know how slowly you have moved, and sometimes you are very critical of where you have been. You are critical of where you are, and you don't even believe that you deserve to get to where you want to be anymore because of how much you have failed. I want you to take time. Please write this as a task. This is your first task. Write it down, or maybe I will ask you later. Maybe not now. Write a letter forgiving yourself for failing. Write that letter the way you will write it to a friend who met you, who is crying that I'm sorry that I failed. I didn't mean to fail, but I failed. So what would you tell that friend? How will you comfort that friend? Write that kind of letter to yourself. Okay? Write it to yourself. That's your task. So what areas can we set goals in? Family goals. I want to have 3 children. I want to live in the New Hamptons. I want to earn 250 million naira this year. I want to become a prayer warrior. I want to become more spiritual. I want to spend time with my children. I want to eat healthy. I want to have a legacy of good works. I want to be someone who has an NGO that takes care of kidnapped children. It's a goal. Yeah. I want to change my attitude. I want to stop being an impatient person. I don't want to be angry anymore. I don't want to be that careless person who does things anyhow. I want to grow a business venture. It's been tough, but I want to try. I want to develop my career. There are so many aspects that you can set goals in, and you can separate them. Okay? Every time people hear about goals, they think career, business, and money. Man, you can decide that this year I have no financial goals to increase. Yeah, there's some people who are currently okay with where their finances are, and they need to now develop other goals to come to balance out their lives so that they are happier with their lives. What areas do you really need to set goals on? So I'm going to pause here briefly, and I'm going to ask you, out of these areas, choose 3 main areas you want to consider this year. You can set goals in all these areas, but there may be 3 critical ones that if you achieve goals in these areas, they would mean something to you. You getting me? Should I give you a minute to write it down in your journal? Should I give you a minute? Choose one of these areas: family goals or home, financial goals, spiritual goals, health, legacy, attitudinal, business, recreational. What areas do you really want to set goals? There are more areas you can add to this list. So if I didn't list it here, please by all means write it down. But choose 3 main areas you want to set goals in this year. Because sometimes in life, many of the other goals that we set are actually subsets of the 3 main goals or 4 main goals we want to achieve in our lives in a certain year. If you spread yourself too thin, trying to give the same energy to all the goals, you may struggle to achieve them. So you want to choose 3 main goals that you will pack the most energy behind, and then the remaining can come under a second rate goals for that year. Of course, you can shift, priorities can change, and one can enter the top 3. But decide now that you're going to take 3 and set goals around those areas. Are you done writing? Are you done writing? Okay, let's go on. So I want someone to volunteer, and I'm going to stop sharing my screen at the moment now. I want someone to volunteer to answer these questions. I don't know whether Farida will be willing, since she has been the most active. Since she has been the most active. Farida, say something in the comment section and let me know if you're watching. Or should I call someone else? There are many other people who are coming and going. I can see it fluctuating. Would somebody like to volunteer? Would someone like to volunteer? I want to bring you, I want to bring you on live. I want to run these questions by you. And I want to give context to other people who are watching and those who will catch the replay. I see that the numbers are fluctuating, and I'm getting messages here from some people who are struggling to join in. We are trying to sort out their end. But is there anyone here who would like to volunteer? Okay, perhaps there's a lag. Okay, so if you're still watching and you are shy to volunteer, even though people who achieve goals are not very shy people, or people of God. They're not shy people. We haven't even gotten to the part where I'm going to help you craft your goals and you're already shying away. You have to take the bull by the horns. Is there anyone who wants to volunteer one more time? Okay, so let's continue. If you're watching with me, have you written down your 3 goals? If you have written down your 3 goals, choose one of the goals. I'm going to run these questions by you. And I want you to compare, I want you to run that particular goal through these questions that I'm going to ask you. Are we good? Number 1, how do you feel about this goal? Write down the question. I want you to answer this question when you are in your private room, since no one would volunteer. The morning batch was more active than this batch. Are you guys tired? So number 2, where am I in relation to this goal? For many of us, we may think that the mental and the for many of us here in Nigeria, a lot of us are very religious people. So I put this question there as well. What is God's view about this goal? Do you know why I'm asking this question? Because for many of us, we set goals and we feel guilty for setting the goals. There's something extremely empowering when we have the backing, when we feel confident that this is something God will want us to achieve. Do you feel that way about this goal currently? Or do you feel it's just a goal that I have to have because, man, everybody is making it. I need to make it like this. And so this is a goal for me. I don't care whether God feels cool or not with this. This is not about whether God feels cool. This is about whether you think that He agrees with you on this goal. Write it down, please. For what purposes do I want this goal? For what purposes do I want this goal? What will I gain if I have this goal? What will I gain if I have this goal? Why is this goal important to me? Why is this goal important to me? So this is the first set of questions I'm going to ask you. I'm not helping you set new goals today. I'm just helping you review the other goals. I'm just helping you review the other goals. If you can answer this question as honestly as you possibly can, you are on your way to crafting a powerful goal. You have no idea what these questions will reveal. In the class I took today, when we had someone to volunteer, it was very eye-opening what these questions can do for the goal that you're setting. So let me quickly continue. I'm going to be entering now. Now that you have asked yourself some of these questions, these are questions you need to settle in your heart before you get to setting the goal. Okay? So let's quickly come to setting the goal. Okay. All right, so let's move on. I, I'll talk about that later. So we are getting to the part where we are now talking about how to craft your goals. Everything is state dependent. Keep this in mind, and if you can, keep it in mind for the rest of your life. Every single thing that you do and you are capable of achieving is dependent on your mental and emotional state. There are times when you do something in a certain way because you're in a good mood. And there are times when you do that same thing in a bad way because you're in a bad mood. Every single time you want to set your goals, being in the right frame of mind is as important as the goals that you're actually trying to set. If you don't take time to know what mindset you need to be in before you set your goals, you can set goals and then later look at the goals and see that they don't motivate you. They mean nothing to you. They don't inspire you. Or you wonder, was I the one that was writing these things down? This makes no sense to me. Everything is state dependent. We'll come back to this statement. So there are certain keys that are necessary for effective goal setting. And I'm going to run through them very quickly now. Number one, you must have a vision. You must be able to write it down and capture it. Yes. Don't just have a vision, capture the goal and write it down. You must understand how your personality interplays with this goal that you want to set. Your goals must be smart and resolvable. If your goals don't pass the SMART test, then it is not a goal. The role of your belief system is key in your goal setting. Do you know that you can set a goal you don't believe in? You can set a goal that you don't think you deserve. You can aspire for something simply because your in crowd is aspiring for that thing, but it means nothing to you. Yes. So you need to make sure your goals align with your core values. You need to be able to identify your threats and opportunities, and you need to remember past accomplished goals. So let's go to vision. What is a vision? In plain English, it is the dreamy aspect of your goals. It is the way you imagine your finished product, the way your goals will look when you have achieved them. Why do you need to have a vision? Because it affects your energy levels positively. It activates your subconscious mind and gets your subconscious mind working. Your subconscious mind is so powerful, it does 95% of your thinking. When you have set a goal and you have written it down and it's put on a picture somewhere, or it's written down in a place you can see it, your subconscious mind goes into overdrive, trying to think up ways that you can achieve that goal. So you will easily recognize opportunities that you normally would not have recognized. Or you will see things clearly, an opportunity that others didn't see because your mind is alive to it. So it activates your subconscious mind and it improves your resourcefulness. When you are clear about the vision you want to achieve, usually you are more creative in how you want to achieve it. It keeps you on your toes. So having a vision is very important. How do you create a vision? How do you decide what is a vision? Nobody has volunteered. I would have used somebody to run some questions by and would have created a vision right now. But a vision is imagining the best version of that goal in your life. That vision is not the goal. The vision is the dream. The vision is the different little goals put together like a puzzle to make a big picture. That is what is a vision. When you are able to envisage, oh, I'm going to be here, I'm going to be wearing this with this person at this time of the year, earning this amount, going to this place, achieving this thing. Those visions, they come with sound, they come with energy, they come with vision. Somebody should have volunteered today. I promise you. This would have had a tremendous effect on how you view your goals if somebody had volunteered to be our vision board today. But no problem. Vision boarding is very important. So the another way you can capture and create your vision is to save it on a vision board. A vision board is a collage of pictures that basically inspire and motivate you. A vision board, the idea of vision board is no longer new to us, but it's been popularized, and I dare say it's been a bit bastardized. Do you know that you can set a vision board that does nothing to inspire you? It does not energize you. You are not encouraged when you see them. They mean nothing to you. And earlier this morning, when I was talking to the first group of people, I was talking about vision boarding, and I said to them that when I first learned about vision board was roughly 6 to 7 years ago. And with the association that I was in, we had a vision. We had been taught about vision boards, and all of us needed to set vision boards. So we went and got magazines, and we cut out pictures of pretty people. We cut out pictures of pretty houses. We cut out pictures of yachts. We cut out pictures of aeroplanes. We cut out pictures of beautiful exotic cars, and we put them up on our vision board. But can I be honest with you? I had no desire to have a yacht at that time of my life. I don't know why it was on my vision board. It was not something I wanted to have now. I had many other things that would have inspired me to action more than seeing a yacht on my vision board. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. We can join the bandwagon and set pictures and put things on our vision board that to us look like what an ideal vision board would look like. But they mean nothing to those of us who own those boards. Your vision board has to mean something to you. It has to be something on the board that whenever you see, it inspires you to take action even when you are discouraged. You can put a vision board of someone that does nothing to inspire you. So your vision board has to be something that truly, truly matters to you. It doesn't have to be a collage of many pictures. It can be one item. I know one person who had a vision board to work with because he's a movie star, to work with a particular person. On his vision board was just that person's name. Finish. He said to himself that this year, if I have to star in a movie with this guy, I have achieved my main goal for the year. That was his vision board. We didn't need to see any pictures of yachts and cars and planes to inspire him, because maybe that was not his primary or priority at that time of life. So you want to make sure your vision board is something that is meaningful to you. It can have pictures, but it doesn't have to have pictures. Okay? It can have pictures of celeb, it doesn't have to. You don't need anything on your vision board other than what inspires you. Do not settle for a vision board just because it's popular. Settle for a vision board that is like putting bullets in a gun. When you point that bullet any gun anywhere, it will deliver. That's what a vision board is supposed to do for you. So what do you need to craft a vision board? You need your goals. You need your cardboard or photo frame or whatever it is, a hard surface basically. You need magazines and old magazines with pictures that inspire you. You need a cutout representation of those pictures that represent your vision. You need markers, scissors, glue, pins. You need great music. Great music for what? To put you in the right state of mind. Music that inspires you, if music does. Maybe if you like Oliver de Coke, put it there. It mustn't be fancy or Igbo music. You know what I'm saying, right? Yeah. So when you're creating your vision, it's important that you understand why you must write it down. You write down your vision because it brings you clarity, it keeps you focused, it allows you to remember, it helps you know which way to go, and it helps others also know which way to help you go. If you say today that I want to do a PhD, and your kids know that you need to study for an exam, and it's clearly written on your vision board, and you have announced to the whole house that 3 times a week I'm going to read till midnight, But your kids have observed that you sleep every day of the week because you are exhausted from work. They'll most likely remind you one day that, Mommy, you have not been sticking to this plan on your board, though. You've been sleeping, and you know how kids are, they will just blot it out without a care in the world. Always capture your vision, because it not only guides you, it helps those around you to also hold you accountable to what you say you want to achieve. Then, of course, your personal core values. This is another tool. This is the second important thing you must note about your goals. You can have goals that are clash with your core values. I put a picture of Heineken and Procter and Gamble here. I had a friend who was once working in Procter and Gamble. She delivered on high sales, and then of course she did so well that Heineken, the breweries, decided to hire her. And when she was hired, she couldn't perform as well as she did in Procter and Gamble. And for the longest of time, we just didn't know why she was having a bad run. It seemed like all the hype with which she was hired in Heineken completely fell to the ground. And after a year, she was let go. It turned out that she simply could not, and at that time she didn't know that was the reason, but she simply could not align her vision, her core values. She said that she felt like her job required her to go out every evening to supervise sales targets. And sales target meant having a lot of people drink more alcoholic beverages. And she observed, when sitting down, moving from clubhouse to clubhouse, a lot of people did not, a lot of the people who came to drink and drunk heavily were people that were not happy with what was currently going on in their lives. So they took to alcohol, and her job was to ensure that the salespeople there motivated them to drink as much as possible. And she found out that she was saddened by the fact that most of these people didn't seem to have anything going for them except to get drunk. It clashed deeply with her values, and she was unable to push for the sales target that she was hired for. Eventually, she was let go. Are you setting goals that require you to push outside something you don't believe in? Are you? Some of these goals that everybody is saying they want to have, you secretly don't care, or you secretly don't believe, or it just doesn't align with who you really are, what you want for your life. What are those things? These three goals that I have asked you to list, are you sure that your core values align with them? Do you even know what your core values are? Core values are not determined though. Core values are discovered. You cannot really help it if you find out that you really are a family oriented person. You found out that you prefer to hang with family than to be off or airborne every time. There are some people, they don't care much about family. It's not a good or bad thing. If they are aware that family is not their main focus, they'll be very careful. Maybe they won't be the ones to commit to a family on time. They may be the ones who want to give time to their career without having the feeling of guilt that they are not available for their children. Because at this moment of their life, family is not a core value. Your core values play a very key role in the goals you are setting. These three goals I've asked you to list. Do you have any issues with the values concerning those goals? Are they clashing? Are they clashing? Think about it. The third thing you need to note is your belief systems. It's very similar to your core values. Your belief systems are ideas and things you have subscribed to that you agree are true at your subconscious level. Belief systems are very powerful. They can come against something. Examples of belief systems are making money is hard. So if you set a goal to achieve a certain amount of money, I don't know, but this was one of my main belief systems. Growing up, I just used to hear people talk about how hard it was to make money, and I adopted it as true. It is hard to make money. And so when I started making money, first of all, when I first got my first big breaks in trying to make money, I was shocked at the ease with which money came to me, because at my design skill I could deliver. I was surprised. But I kept telling myself, this is wrong, this is wrong. It's not supposed to be this easy to make money. This scares me. And so by myself, I started sabotaging my work efforts. Can you imagine how gory, how terrible that is? The power of belief systems. So we have all sorts of belief systems. Women are not meant to make money and buy nice things for themselves. So you see some people, they can afford it, but they just won't, because they don't want to be seen as taking care of themselves. It is perceived as being vain. So no matter what you tell them, even if their goal is to be happy this year and be cute and look nice, they won't be able to bring out money and spend on themselves. All rich people are greedy, and so you avoid anything to do with reaching your financial goals, because somewhere at the back of your mind, you are preparing for people to call you a greedy person, and maybe you don't like that. Working class women don't make, so I've listed so many things about women here, right? I guess because I'm a woman, and maybe the women can relate. But some women don't give their best to their jobs. They don't pursue their dream jobs. They don't go for the promotions they require, because they tell them, they have believed it somehow too, that working class women don't make good wives and mothers. They have subscribed to that belief system. Men from my village don't do this, don't do that. This tribe is an evil tribe. This tribe, they are foolish people. These other ones deserve to be maltreated. They don't deserve any respect or kindness at all. And so you subscribe to this belief system, and these belief systems harm your ability to achieve your goals. Do you know how powerful it is if you have decided a tribe is an evil tribe, but the person that is capable of helping you achieve this goal is of that tribe? You know what I can do to that goal? Belief systems can be traced and they can be changed. The first thing to note is to acknowledge that you have a belief system. And belief systems are always tied to specifics. What do I believe about money? What do I believe about marriage? What do I believe about Nigeria? Today on the internet, there's just a breakdown of law and order. So many things going on. The insecurity in the country is so bad. So some people, they have subscribed to the belief that no matter what happens, I will never be happy in Nigeria. I can't make it in Nigeria. It's a belief system. A lot of people have it. So no matter the kind of opportunities that exist, they can't take full advantage of it. I think I've made my point here. Those three goals that I asked you to list, do you have any belief systems that are fighting them? I leave you to think about that, okay? Put that in your notes. I need you to take a look at those three main goals that you have set. Recognize your threats and opportunities. If you are beautiful, it's an opportunity. If you are beautiful, it can be a threat. What is the difference? Possibly environment, possibly association. Everything can be an opportunity and a threat. Depending on where you find yourself, recognize when a skill, a knowledge, an opportunity, a personality is a threat, and when it's an opportunity. When an opportunity is a situation is a threat or an opportunity. Anything at all. A newborn baby is a gift, right? It can be an opportunity to, say, take time off work and go pursue your PhD. But a baby too can become a threat, in the sense that its constant need for attention can interrupt your dream to finish that PhD. The essence of recognizing this is to know how to mitigate against threats and know how to take advantage of opportunities. The three goals that you have listed, I want you to list the opportunities associated with that goal. What are the opportunities you've recognized around that goal, and what are the threats you've recognized around that goal? Every goal has obstacles, especially long-term ones. So learn to enjoy the process of taking down the obstacles, because helps you build capacity. That's in notes, by the way. And then finally, um, you need to develop the right habit, the autopilot principle. This principle states that, and I'm going to just paraphrase it. Your subconscious, your mind cannot process more than 7% of your conscious things. So it sends a large portion of what you do to your subconscious. Now, one of the most powerful things you can do is form a habit that becomes a subconscious one. It becomes something you do, a reflex, that you don't require to think about before you do them. If you form the right habits and allow those habits go into autopilot, by autopilot I mean you begin to operate on them without thinking. Every single goal can be traced. can be tracked. And for most people, every day, your daily actions lead you to specific results. We can always tell, if we are honest with ourselves, what our daily actions are and what our results will be based on our daily actions. If we allow our daily actions to go into autopilot and they are healthy actions, healthy habits, oh my goodness, you are going to be closing your goals back to back. So you want to begin to cultivate new habits to help you develop autopilot principle. With that principle, you can set good habits and not think much about them. What that does is it gives you confidence and efficacy because you see yourself closing goals, achieving your goals back to back to back. Very important for goal setting. Very important. So we have now come to the litmus test. What makes a goal a goal? A goal must be specific. It must be, I want to buy a red cup. It cannot just be, I want to buy a cup. It must be, I want to achieve an MSc in XYZ. It's not just, I want an MSc before the end of the year. It must be specific. Your goals must be measurable. In other words, your goals must be trackable. You cannot have a goal that you cannot track. If you cannot track your goal, it is not a goal. What does it mean to measure your goals? To be able to monitor your progress at regular intervals. I can monitor my progress every month. I can monitor it every week. I can monitor it every quarter. But I must be able to monitor it at regular intervals to give me an idea how much progress I'm making in the direction of my goals. Measurability is so key, and that is when many people miss it. They set goals for tracking, but they don't know how to track the goals, so they can't sustain what it takes when they are actually making progress or know what to do and change when they are failing to meet their goals. A goal must be achievable. The A stands for achievable. A goal must be achievable. If you want to do an MSc, it means that you should at least have a BSc. You cannot wake up from primary school or secondary school and say, I want to do an MSc. What is the criteria? Do you have what it takes? Is this an achievable, attainable goal? If you don't have an MSc, there's always a prerequisite to X. So if you're at level 2, for instance, and you are aiming for level 6, it means that you should have access level 3, level 4, and level 5. If you skip level 3, 4, and 5 and get to level 6, you will have a rubber band effect. Your lack of capacity will show at some point. So your goals must be achievable. Can they be broken down? Your goals must be achievable. Is this realistic? This goal you want to set, R stands for realistic and relevant. Is it realistic? Do you have the support system to help you? Are you just dreaming it up without any plan to make sure your support system assists you in achieving that goal? You can have a very lofty goal and you might have what it takes to achieve it. But in your current situation at your job or in your family, can you take the time off to focus on that goal? Those questions are questions you must ask yourself. Is this goal possible based on the current mindset I have? Is it possible based on the current status I have? What of the capacity? What of my qualifications? What of my knowledge? The tools I have? Is it possible? And of course, finally, your goals must be time bound. It must be time bound to a date, not time bound to a period, not time bound to a season, but time bound to a date. I'd like to see if anyone is following me and if you have any comments in the comment section. Hello, Farida. Hello, Farida. Hello, Farida. I'm seeing you saying hi. Thank you. We're going to be rounding up very soon. I hope this is making sense to you. I see a couple of people on, but they are not commenting. Well, I hope that you're getting value, okay? So your goals must be time bound to a date. It must be time bound to 26 December 2021. It must be time bound to March I mean, it's just like an expected due date. Come on. You can't just say we're going to deliver. We're not really sure when the baby will be born. Doctors must have, because a goal must be achieved to deliver baby successfully, and mother and child must be healthy. So we must have a date, have at least an expected delivery date for that goal. At least a range, even if you can't pin it down to a particular date. Hi, Mama Timmy. Thank you for commenting. If you can't pin it to a particular date, pin it to a period. And when I mean a period, an expected date, like it has to have just a narrow margin, because that information helps us. That information helps us to assess what to do when we know that you are 32 weeks old and we know that you have 8 weeks to go. It changes the manner in which we treat the pregnancy. So it changes the manner in which we treat the goal that we're trying to achieve. What she eats, how she rests, how often she sees the doctor. Do you understand? So if you don't have goals that are time bound, you would be like having a baby that you don't know when you're expecting to give birth to. I hope this makes sense. So are you getting value? I'm seeing some of the comments here. Someone says, so insightful. Thank you. Very informative. Thank you, Farida. More grace to you as well. Thank you for joining. Farida, did you want to comment? Did you want to answer questions? I see you put your hand up. Oh, I'm sorry. I think there's a lag in the chats. So it doesn't show up on time. And I cannot identify when someone is trying to interact with me. Okay. But thank you for your comments. I'm glad to see that you are following up. I hope that other people who are late, I'm going to leave it up for a day or two for them to catch the replay. Okay, so let me continue. We don't have so much time. I don't want to keep you so long. Oh my goodness, why can't you comment? Why can't you comment, May? Oh, I'm not happy about this. Is there something she can click to comment? What device are you using? What device are you using? That might help us know how to help you access the comment section. Okay, but I'm seeing your comments here. Thank you for. Can you imagine how how tech works? So I'm getting her comments on another device and from another platform entirely. But great job. Thank you for hanging in there. I'm going to try and make sure we round up very soon. So I'm going back to sharing my screen. Oops. All right, so let me continue. Okay, so let me quickly run through this section. For those who have ever participated in any of my goal setting, this is a primary tool that I give out. With this tool, it helps people really streamline what they need to do to set their goals. They have to know how specific it is. If it's not specific, usually in a workshop, we take about, like I said, 6 hours plus to run through this goal. So right there, I can tell you when your goal is not specific enough, the tracking system you have developed is not accurate, whether it's attainable based on, because I'm going to ask you questions based on your current situation, and then we can identify what makes it attainable, what makes it realistic, and how we can set the time-bound nature of the goal. So this tool will be available to you guys who have joined me. You can use it to develop your goals, okay? There's certain aspects of this. Anyway, I'll send you, there's an updated, I've worked on this tool in particular. I thought I put the updated one, but it's not. This is the slightly, there's a newer version of this that I updated, because over the months and several months that I've been working with people, I have recognized exactly what the issues are around these 5 points. And so I have updated the information that can help you without even my being there, able to answer these questions accurately. So I'm looking forward to sharing this information with you after the class. Okay, so after you have set your goals, now I'm assuming that you have set 3 goals for yourself. One of those goals, I want you to use it with these questions I'm going to ask you. Once you are done setting your goals, there's a certain group of questions that will make you now prime yourself for the goals. Those questions will help prime you. There are questions that I'm going to ask you now, and I honestly wish somebody can volunteer so that I can bring you on screen, because it's very powerful when people are on screen taking these questions. Other people see it and get context for their own goals. So you can choose a neutral goal. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. You should still be able to. You should still be able to comment even from your phone, because a lot of people join me using my phone, using their phones. Anyway, no problem. Let's continue. So there are some questions I want to ask you. Is there anyone willing to join me live? I'm going to take this out and I'm going to feature you, and then you're going to answer these questions in front of everyone. Is there anyone? Okay. So, I take one of the goals that you have set. Take one of the goals that you have set. One of the 3 main goals for the year. And as I'm asking you these questions, write them down so that you can run those goals by these questions. What does this goal mean for me, my family, and my organization? What does this goal mean for me, my family, and my organization? What will I see when I have this goal? What will I see when I have this goal? What will this goal allow me to do? In fact, when I got to this question with the morning batch, some people were confused. But when I was done asking it and she was forced to answer, suddenly clarity, she was like, oh, and then she took a biro and started writing stuff down. I'm like, what is this goal that you are setting for yourself? What will it allow you to do? There are some of these things that when you have this goal, it opens up more options for you, or it closes some options for you. Are you aware of what options are available to you? Because if you are aware of the options that are available to you, if you this goal is achieved, do you know what that does for your energy levels? Do you know what that does for your mental focus? Do you know what that does for building your ability to stay consistent? Suddenly you see the opportunities opening up. When do I want this goal? Is this something you have to have this year, this quarter, before the end of the year, or at least by next year? If that is the case, what will you do to get this goal? Yes. What will you really do to get this goal? Many of us, I including me myself, this used to be a problem for me. I had ideas about what I wanted to achieve, but when I saw what I needed to do, I wasn't sure I wanted to subscribe to some of them. Looking back now, I can see why some of those goals were never going to come to pass. What will I do to get this goal? Do you know that just accepting that this is what I have to do, it completely changes your mindset? When you see this goal, and the goal is not a wall, it is a lintel, it is a concrete barrier, and I have to get into that room because in that room lies my financial breakthrough. What will I do? Do you know what that does for your resourcefulness? Write down against that goal you have selected, what will you do? Unfortunately, we didn't have time to visualize a goal. In my live classes, we're going to introduce a new aspect of goal visualization, where we have your goal programmed in such a way that you can actually see your goal, the dream that you have. There's a AV thing that we're trying to purchase to make our live sessions really real and tangible. When you leave the session, you would know that you have a clear vision of your goal, you have touched it in your mind. So now I know what I have to do. Okay? What do I have already to get it? When I had to answer this question for myself, I was amazed at all the things I already had at my disposal that I didn't even recognize at that time were at my disposal. I'll tell you a little joke. Someone knows about my goal setting, and he lives in the Middle Eastern countries. So I put up some information and put up some pictures. So he was trying to, he was encouraging me and he was saying, "Oh, you're doing a great job. I'm happy and everything." But they have these new devices that you can add to what you need to do. So I laughed. I said, why do you think you need to suggest this to me? So he said, "Oh, he's sure that I probably have the tools and I don't know how to use them right." I laughed and I told him that I don't have any new tools other than the phone that I have, the laptop that I haven't even bought the new type of gadgets yet that most people who are into online stuff have, that I'm basically using what I have. So he was like, he's amazed because he knows my handsets. He's like, he's amazed that it's my handset that is doing all these things. And I'm like, yes, it's amazing what you can do with what you have when you realize that that is what you have. Many of the things I've been able to achieve, I have done way more than some people who have so many gadgets. I have done way more than people who earn more than I do. I have done way more than people who have come from backgrounds that are more privileged. Do you understand what I'm saying? If you are able to answer this question for yourself, it's very powerful. What do I already have? Some of you have a good supportive husband. That's a powerful support system. Some of you are really, really smart. Some of you have access to gadgets, have access to different things that make your work easy. They simplify your work. What do you already have? Some of you have, you already have a home office. You have a big house, and in your house you can set up. See, you can go to Instagram, go to Pinterest. You can decide that just so that I can feel like a queen, I'm going to turn one of my rooms into a dream office. I already have an office space. If I have one spare desk I'm not using, I'm going to cut out prints. If you are put on the wall, I'm going to get throw pillows that look cute like this. I'm going to get flower pots. I'm going to make myself feel special. Like, do you know how powerful that is when you just realize I have a space that I can use? As opposed to saying, "Oh, I need an office to do some of what I do." What do you already have? Let me move on. What do I need to get it? Now you have established what you have. We're trying to establish what you need. For instance, you can need connections. Maybe there's a particular person that you need his recommendation to be put on that form so that you can get the Mandela Washington Fellowship. Maybe there's somebody you require who knows somebody in the embassy who can fast track certain things, prepare you for the interview. When you get there, you know what you need to do. Maybe you need somebody like that. Maybe you need additional information to keep you informed. Maybe you need to go and learn a new skill. What do you need to get this goal? Are you writing it down? Please, none of these things make sense to you except it's in relation to a particular goal. In the morning session, every question here was answered by people. When they spoke up, it brought clarity to them, okay? More questions, more questions. Have I done this before? For me, all the goals that I set for myself, I have never done them before. But do you know anyone who has? Yes. I know people who have achieved this goal. What does that tell you? It means that it's doable, it's been done before. So you don't need the excuse of saying you don't know anyone who has done it. But kudos to people like Okonjo-Iweala, our superstar of the moment, who went ahead and charted a course that nobody had done before. No African had been on that seat. No woman had been on that seat. But she set a goal, and with all the help, that last question she should have asked herself, what do I need? She needed the support of how many countries to be able to back her up. I heard that, after all the credentials, you still need to liaise with people to support you, to back up your whatever. She must have taken time to assess her goal. She must have identified what she had and then recognized what she needed and then continue to go from, it's almost like lobbying. Forgive me if that is not the case. But I know that she didn't just accept, she wasn't just chosen by, like a hand just lying on her hand, she was just given the position. You saw the opposition that came with her getting there, right? Yes. That is because she must activate these questions. Has she I'm pretty sure that when she asked herself, do you know anyone who has, she didn't look for a black person because she didn't know any black person. So she looked for a white person and said, if this man can do it, I can. So do you know anyone who has achieved this goal you want to achieve? That place you want to travel to, that car you want to have, that business you want to set up, do you know anybody? And if that is the case, can you act like somebody who has achieved that goal? I'll give you a perfect example. A lady once said she wanted to earn over 100 million in the year. And they asked her, can you act as if you already have it? It was confusing initially. How am I supposed to act? Like somebody now that had it 100 million. How would you walk? So she had to, in the class, she had to demonstrate. She had to get up and we had to talk to her and we wanted her to respond. And we said, okay, you don't sound like someone that has 100 million. Oh. She's like, oh, okay. I'm going to adjust myself. And little by little, she began to adjust. Okay, walk to me. I need your help. You have 100 million. How would you walk to me? That goal that you are thinking of, that you have written down, can you act as if you already have it? Can you? How would you behave if a problem met you and you already have 100 million? How would your issue be if you knew you could just jet off out of the country because you owned a private jet? And somebody said, they say people can't travel because there's COVID everywhere, but you know that people that own private jets have special arrangements. How would you behave? There's a way you react. There's a way you act around the problems. There's a way you act around the people. There's a way you react when things happen because you know you have achieved your goal. Is it possible for you to begin to act that way now before you achieve your goal? Do you know how powerful this is? Do you know how your walking step will be? Do you know how you will start dressing? Do you know how you will carry yourself at work? Can you keep this in front of you? How, if you take nothing away, please take this line. Can I act as if I already have it? It was transformational for me when I had to apply it to my own life. At the time I learned it, I'm like, yes. If I was walking as somebody who had accomplished this goal, I certainly would not be moping the way I'm moping right now. And I snapped out of the sore face that I had. For what purposes do I want this goal? Why is this goal so important to me anyway? If I go and become the head of World Trade Organization, why do I want it? Is it just so I can prove to somebody else, or do I really have a deeper reason for wanting it? If you know what that deeper reason is, you are most likely going to be able to stand opposition and withstand opposition. You just be able to stand in the face of opposition. You'll be able to bulldoze your way through obstacles much more easily than someone who is not too sure why they want the goal. Does that make sense? This goal that you have set for yourself, do you know what purposes you want this goal for? Okay. So now that you have achieved this goal or you have set this goal, what will you gain if you have it? What will you gain? Oh yes, there are things to gain now. For me now, some of the goals I've set for myself, one of the things I will gain is freedom. There are certain things I want to do with myself that I feel I'm unable to do now because certain goals have not quite kicked into place. I would have the freedom to travel, freedom to use my time how I want. It's important to me. Freedom to express myself how I feel. It's important to me. Freedom to the freedom of options. If I gain this goal that I have in my mind, my God, I can even dream it right now. The freedom. Freedom is a key part of me. I know what I will gain if I achieve this goal. Do you know what you will gain? Write down the question. What will I lose if I have this goal? Don't you know you will lose some things? Yes. Have you seen people who went so hard on a goal, then when they got the goal, they were not happy? The goal just looked like it stripped them of all the things that mattered. This thing is not good or bad, though. It's just for you to be aware of what your trade-off will be. You know that some people, they lose friendships when they gain a certain goal. You don't have time again to hang out with that friend. Some people lose freedom of time because now that you are now your career has taken off and you are now at a higher position, there's a demand for your time more than before. Something will be lost. Now that thing that will be lost, is it worth it? Is it worth following this goal for? If it is worth it, please go for the goal. As you are setting these goals, I hope you are running these things by specific goals, not just random thinking. I asked you to put out 3 goals. And if anybody has volunteered, you would have used one goal, would have run these things, you would have answered these questions based on that one goal. What will I lose if I have it? It's okay to lose some things, really. People of God, it's okay. What 5 things will happen if I get it? Can you list those 5 things? Me, I know my own. I will not tell you guys. When I get that goal, I know the 5 things I will do. Oh my God, I just know it. What 5 things will you do? What 5 things will happen to you when you get that goal? Are you among those people in your family no respect? you know, your family are like people right there, Joe. We know that you are the firstborn, but please, Amaka is talking. Please, Amaka is explaining something. We're not being rude. We're just saying Amaka was saying something. You're not here. We want to hear her better. Some people, that's what they need. Tables will turn, things will shift, respect will come, freedom to do certain things. More, we have no idea what motivates people and what drives people to pursue the goals that they do. And there's no wrong or right answer. There's only what matters to you. That is why you must set goals that are important to you, not goals that are important to other people. Eh? So I broke down this. Okay. Let's. This is the last happen if I